Prime Minister Abe of Japan, who basically, first of all, introduced the idea of confluence of the two seas, that the Indo-Pacific and the Indian Ocean in 2007. Later on, the present Prime Minister of Japan in March 2023.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. Firstly, let me express my deep appreciation and gratitude to Prof. Somnath Sachdeva, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Kurukshetra. My apologies, Professor, that I cannot be there in person. Over the past 2 years, I had the privilege of attending in person the conferences organized.
Points getting close have far-reaching implications. Okay. No wonder the world is closely watching the Iran-Israel skirmishes that may snowball into a full-fledged war. And any closure of the Strait of Hormuz will seriously affect global trade, particularly oil trade. Therefore, while discussing the security dimensions of the Indo-Pacific, it's not only about an assertive China.
Understand each other, what is the point and what we should do. And very recently, the government of Japan renewed the cabinet member, and the new Prime Minister Ishiba, he is the center of the person of the ocean affairs, because from the real beginning, the ocean law and the planning of the ocean issues in Japan, he has
include piracy, IUU fishing, asymmetric challenges, and maritime terrorism. The issues in the South China Sea range from sovereignty, freedom of navigation, and control of resources. The instabilities and turbulence that we are witnessing in some parts of the Indo-Pacific on land have the potential to spill over into the maritime domain, and the situation can best be described as
how we move forward from here on. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nokwe. Thank you so much for your words, and we missed your warm presence this time here in person, and looking forward to meet you next time here in person. Thank you so much. It is our honor to have with us our esteemed chief guest, Vice Admiral Tarun Sopti, AVSM, VSM. Commissioned into the Indian Navy in 1988, Vice Admiral Sopti.
Where every piece, countries, economies, and ecosystems are interconnected. A significant climate event is like moving a piece that disrupts the entire game. Rising sea levels threaten not just entire national sovereignties, but it also affects the livelihood and the safety of the people who live in these areas. Increased frequency of storms and cyclones lead to humanitarian crises, which in turn can drain national resources and destabilize governments. In addressing climate change, it is not just about lowering emission levels, but also building resilience. This involves everything from coastal defenses to international collaborations for disaster management. In other words, it is not just about saving the planet. It is about securing our homes, our livelihoods, and indeed, our very way of life. We have a shared responsibility to act together, not just as individuals, but as a global community. So let us take decisive steps, because we all know there is no alternate to Earth. Meanwhile, sustainable development in the Indo-Pacific is a complex issue that involves many challenges, including climate change, poverty, and inequality. We need to meet the needs of the present generations without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs.
According to me, if we want to talk about sustainable, if we want to talk about climate mitigation structure, peace cannot be a choice, but a duty for all world governments and humanity. I would like just to share with you, I don't know if I can share just a picture here in Italy, just to show you some things about climate change. But I would like just to share with you a little picture to show you this graph in which I have just focused on this red point. This red point is
Indo-Pacific. Next slide, please. Now, if you just look at the hotspots in the world that I mentioned, you can see the locus of hotspots is really around both sides of India. So, I like to mention that we lie in the middle of two arcs of instability. One starting from the Suez Canal to the Red Sea, the other in the South China Sea, as also the Persian Gulf. They're all flashpoints out there, which requires India in particular to maintain a very strong maritime defense posture for its own security as also the security and stability of the entire region. And this is something that is very evident when you look at the map, particularly because of the geography of the Indian Ocean region, which really ships have to pass through a number of choke points. And as you can see today, most of the conflicts are happening around these choke points through which merchant traffic and virtually most of humankind's trade passes today. Next, please. Now, as
also take note of my colleague from Kenya as also an indication of the presence of Africa and its importance in the affairs of the Indo-Pacific. And I strongly believe that these conversations will continue to include the African continent, and especially given the importance of Africa to the Indian Ocean region. And I congratulate Prof. Adri and the Vice Chancellor on this important conference and the forthcoming conference. We've already been told of the 4th edition that is coming, and I hope that Africa will not be forgotten. And our participation, as also included by Prof. Sukla, will be important for the discussions in the Indo-Pacific. We are glad that we are here to participate in the discussions, to shape the Indo-Pacific and ensure that the inclusivity that we wish to see in the Indo-Pacific is achieved. Let this be our Indo-Pacific for all and the prosperity for all. I thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Molope, for your words and for your presence here. As we approach to the conclusion of this session, it is now time for the presidential remarks by our esteemed Vice Chancellor, Professor Somnath. Honorable Vice Chancellor has always been a pillar of strength for this institution. His visionary leadership and unwavering support have been instrumental to our success. I welcome you, sir.
The Quad, as already pointed out by Admiral Chawla, and global frameworks such as the Paris Climate Agreement are crucial in addressing these intertwined challenges. The 21st ASEAN-India Summit, recently attended by Honorable Prime Minister Modi, reminds us India's significant contribution to these collaborations, and also to Quad, IORA, and Indo-Pacific in general. However, the urgency of these challenges, disaster preparedness and resilience demands stronger and more inclusive partnerships. In Kurukshetra University, International Center for Indo-Pacific Studies was established 3 years back, understanding the importance of Indo-Pacific in the time to come. I think our center can play a pivotal role in shaping policies that will secure peace, promote sustainable development, and enhance climate resilience in the Indo-Pacific region. The director of the center has proposed to initiate a research project on sustainable development in Indo-Pacific, covering the three plenary crises of loss of biodiversity, climate change, and pollution through promoting harmony with nature. And for this, I really congratulate the Director, Professor E.N. Atri. I urge you all to be prepared to face the challenges that lie ahead. The answer lies in our collective action, working together across borders and thinking beyond immediate gains to secure a prosperous and sustainable future for the Indo-Pacific. In fact, our motto of Vasudev Kutumbakam that we had during our G20 summit, that tells us the solution to all these problems. We need to consider whole of the earth as one family. And we need to follow our own Sanskriti, our own traditions of restrained consumption, Saimit Upbhog, that will provide the answer to the various environmental issues that we have today. I hope the deliberations of the conference are going to be very fruitful. I congratulate the organizers. I thank all the guests, expert speakers, and participants. I express my gratitude to the chief guest, Admiral Sopti, and wish the conference a great success. Thank you. Jai Hind.